And we're live. What's up, guys? My name is Levi Flint. This is my brand new channel. I'm going to be talking about all sorts of things, mostly self-improvement topics. We're going to talk about reading, we're going to talk about books, we're going to talk about fitness, taking care of ourselves, but we're also going to talk about current events because I just want to start this channel to have fun and to hopefully connect with some like-minded people like yourself. I don't have any huge, humongous goals right this second with this channel, but I did think that I would start. Actually, let's see if are we live streaming? Let's see. Hold on one sec. Let's see. Are we live streaming? Fuck it. We're going live. One sec here, guys. This is my first time live streaming anything ever my entire life. I think we're going. Okay, cool. What's up? What's going on, guys? My name is Levi Flint. Welcome to my very first live stream here on the Levi Flint channel. This is the Levi Flint Show. We are going to be diving in today into a very sad topic, the killing of Charlie Kirk. So at this channel, I want to talk about current events because it's something that interests me. But we're also mainly going to be talking about self-improvement, reading books that I recommend. We're going to be diving deep into that. So you're going to become a better reader. We're going to be talking about fitness. We're going to be talking about things related to health. So health, brain, language learning, all these things that I know a little bit about, I can share with you guys. If you guys want to follow my Spanish channel, I'm over at Profe Levi. That's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I have a little bit of a following. So if you guys are interested in joining the following over there, make sure to check it out. I'll help you learn Spanish, sound a little bit more native, and I do a lot of fun, vulgar stuff over there as well. So you'll have a good time, I promise, if you're interested. But anyways, guys, today I want to talk about a very sad topic. It's a very, very, very messed up topic, and that is the killing of Charlie Kirk. If you guys are, of one of the myriad of people who are sitting here like, oh, fuck Charlie Kirk, and celebrating the murder of a peaceful human being, then maybe this isn't going to be for you. But if you're sane and you care about this topic, then stick around and we're going to talk about kind of where things are as of today. We're going to watch a video here. It's just a Fox News video, but it's a recent video here as of 8 p.m. PST on Tuesday, the 16th. We'll dive into that. We'll watch that here in a second with Jesse Waters and just see kind of like what are the updates that he's sharing. And but basically, I find that this has been a really, really disturbing course of events throughout this entire week. And I think it's because, people like me, I'm 40 years old. I have been watching Charlie Kirk videos, shorts, YouTube videos for like a decade now almost. Yeah, literally a decade. It's like 2016 for sure. So very familiar with everything that he's been putting out there. Very, very familiar with his message, with his quirks, with his voice, and just seeing somebody so tragically and disgustingly wiped off the face of the earth like that on X for in HD is easily one of the most disturbing things. It's right up there, the most disturbing things that I've ever seen in my life, and most tragic, fucked up, unjust things that I've ever seen in my entire life. And I know that there's plethora of videos out there on YouTube, social media, saying similar things that even me, I'm not some evangelical Christian or something like that like he is or he was. But his message still stuck with me. His common sense message, his willingness to debate, to engage with folks who did not agree with him whatsoever. I find that to be abhorrent and disgusting that somebody will have just decided to wipe him off the face of the earth for disagreeing. For disagreeing. It's beyond fucked. If you're an American, it should disgust you because we do value the Second Amendment. Really, not the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, above all else. So it's very disturbing that is a direction that we're headed as a country, without question. And now where we're really at today is it's not, I mean, we are sitting here lamenting the death of this guy. If you're sane, again, if you're a vile human being, of course you're jumping down and clapping like a fucking retard. But if you're, have a soul, you're sitting there saying, wow, this is not who we are. This is not how the system is supposed to work. And if this is going to be how certain individuals are going to act within the system in which we live, well, they don't belong in our system. I mean, it's as simple as that. So where we're at today, though, now is the video we're about to watch is going to be kind of just update on the case. Like today, they sat his ass down in a virtual court. They told him that what the charges were, and we're learning a little bit more. I mean, he hasn't denied anything really. He's just sitting there taking it. He hasn't really said much from what we know. But we're learning a lot more about the case. We're learning more about his trans boyfriend. We're learning about his Discord group, other folks that knew. We're seeing a large, quite a bit of evidence showing that there was plenty of other people that knew about this or that were foreshadowing that this was going to happen. So it is. It's a very strange case in my opinion. I was on X a little while ago. I'm trying to pull up X right now, but my account is being kind of weird. I had a VPN on earlier, so maybe that's why. But you can go through X if you're on Twitter, you're on X. You can go through and see just so many different conspiracy theories. Claiming it's Israel, claiming it's this, claiming it's that. I do think it was this guy. I think he did shoot him, but I definitely think there was other people that knew that were involved. I think there was a lot of planning that went into this, and so my prediction is there's definitely going to be other people arrested, like in his little trans dork theater kid group. I think gamer group. I think there's definitely a chance that they're going to, be incarcerating a few of these other guys. Man, there's some weird shit that's going on. But anyways, let's check out the little Fox video that I have here. This update. Let's watch the video. I'll stop a couple times and we'll talk about some of the details here, just some of the things that I'm finding interesting, and we'll go from there. Here we go.
Fox News alert, we just got our hands on a trove of new evidence in the Charlie Kirk murder. Text messages between the shooter and his trans boyfriend, the secret note that was destroyed, and a confession. Tyler Robinson making his first court appearance just moments ago on Zoom and wearing a suicide watch smock.
Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 76.3-207.7, a mandatory term of imprisonment for life without parole or an indeterminate term of not less than 25 years that may be for life.
Earlier today, the Utah County Attorney's Office announced they were charging an emotionless Robinson with 7 counts, including aggravated murder, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and they're seeking the death penalty. Death by firing squad is on the table. Prosecutors say.
So the death by firing squad thing is something I was reading about, and Jesse Waters doesn't dive into that here. But what I'm noticing, or what I was reading, and this might be completely untrue, is that the defendant or the accused has to actually request firing squad. I think. I could be wrong. I need to look that up in a little bit, but I'm almost positive that they can though. Maybe there's certain ways to override it based on the insanity of the murder, the scenario of the murder. Like he shot him, sniped him, so maybe they can do the same to him. I have no idea. But it's pretty wild that they actually have. I mean, not wild. I think it actually is how it should be, in my opinion. Have firing squad. Really all across the country, especially with crimes like this. I mean, I actually think they should just reenact, in reality, if it's something just so unjust and so abhorrent, just reenact it. Do the same thing. Have a crowd, put them down on a little stage, say, hey, start talking, buddy. Here's your microphone. Start talking, talk. And then we just, reenact it. that would be justice. Erica Kirk could take a shot. Let's keep watching.
This was a political hit.
The state is further alleging aggravating factors on counts 1 and 2 because the defendant is believed to have targeted Charlie Kirk based on Charlie Kirk's political expression and did so knowing that children were present and would witness the homicide.
Officials say they interviewed Robinson's trans lover and got their hands on a secret note that the shooter left under his keyboard the morning of the assassination, and text messages between the two when Robinson was on the run. Robinson texting his trans boyfriend saying, "Drop what you're doing, look under my keyboard." Underneath was a note that said, "I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it." The shooter told his boyfriend to destroy the note, but police were able to recover it. Then Robinson confessed.
30.
You know, if you guys get on X or if you read about this, you're going to see that the text message exchange that they have between these guys, it is the corniest, most fake sounding shit you've ever seen in your life. It's insane. Just go check it out. Go check it out. I'm not going to pull it up here right now, but go check it out. Check out the exchange. It's all over Twitter, X. It's all over. You can probably find it on any website, news website now. And you're going to sit there and just read this. And you're going to be sitting there thinking to yourself, how in the world is this legitimate? This is not how two people speak to one another. This is not a real text exchange. I think Matt Walsh came out today and said that they watched Breaking Bad and they decided, oh, okay, the very end of Breaking Bad, the final episode or final 2 episodes, Walter calls Skyler, "You bitch, you didn't know anything about this for good reason," right? And he's basically just in the FBI's right there recording the conversation and just he's trying to ensure that she has no legal attachment to anything. He's trying to prove or to give up plenty of evidence saying that she did not know about anything. He operated on his own. Same shit that this kid is trying to pull here. I think this is just it's pretty damn strange. Like
You weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I'm sorry.
This.
Roommate, I thought they caught the person. Robinson, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude. Roommate, why? Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yeah. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. How long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week.
That's motive and intent. Robinson texted his trans roomie saying, "I'd hoped to keep this secret until I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you." Charlie's killer thought he was going to just go home and no one would find him. He wasn't that worried about getting caught. He was more worried about his father noticing his grandpa's gun was missing.
I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find Prince. How the F will I explain losing it to my old man? Remember how I was engraving bullets? The F in messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notice bulge UWU on Fox News, I might have a stroke all right. I'm going to have to leave it. That really effing sucks.
So what else did the roommate know? And when did he know it? And who else knew what? The FBI says Robinson may have had co-conspirators.
Who else may have been on that thread, what they may have known. Is that fair to say?
It's a lot more than that, and we're running them all down.
It's a lot more than 20?
Yes, sir.
Cash says they're following every lead, and the FBI is currently investigating leftist groups in Utah to see if there's a conspiracy. In the last year, Robinson became radicalized after moving in with his trans boyfriend.
Robinson's mother explained that over the last year or so, Robinson had become more political and had started to lean more to the left, becoming more pro-gay and trans rights oriented. She stated that Robinson began to date his roommate, a biological male who was transitioning genders. This resulted in several discussions with family members, but especially
Imagine a Mormon family discovering that their son is buggering a transsexual. Oh my God.
between Robinson and his father, who have very different political views.
Now, the media has been telling us Robinson's conservative just because his parents were Republican. You don't always have your parents' politics. Look at me. Even though his family, his friends, his text messages pinned him as a progressive, and the anti-fascist catchphrases on his shell casings and his trans boyfriend, but Jasmine Crockett is still in denial.
The reality is that the average person on the left probably couldn't make a shot from 200 yards because they haven't been playing with assault rifles since they were a little kid.
He couldn't be liberal because liberals are bad shots. That's what they're telling you. Now, if Crockett would read, she'd know Robinson accused Charlie of hate speech and killed him for it. And we got angry when we read the messages. ABC called them romantic.
It was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate who is transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love.
ABC's touched by text messages between an assassin and his trans roommate. Disney is tickled by the intimacy of a killer telling his trans roommate how to orchestrate a cover-up. This isn't a love story. This is a cold-blooded murderer obstructing justice. ABC wasn't this touched when Charlie's widow wept in front of the nation. And the far left is acting like Charlie had it coming.
If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear.
That guy's name's Destiny, and he just learned his fate. He's fired and banned from making any more money on his site. You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when you go to events? CNN is defending this guy.
We can't punish people for disagreeing with us. We can't punish people for being jerks and celebrating the death of someone. That's not illegal, and that shouldn't be who we are.
She's right. It's not illegal to say Charlie deserved to die and you're glad he did. They have a right to say that, but we have a right to fire you. You can't walk into the office and say you're into homicide. You can't work at CNN and tweet, I'm comfortable with cold-blooded murder. More people need to be killed. Speech is free, but you're not free from the consequences. If you're glad Charlie's dead and thought he had it coming, I'm supposed to sit next to you in the break room? You're going to teach my kid at school or serve in government? And I'm supposed to just say, free speech.
You know, that's a good point. In my opinion, that's completely valid. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, cancel culture, this, and this, and this and that. Yeah, part of me is, that's actually a really good point. There is part of me that's sitting there saying that, like what he's referring to is saying that, yeah, if I'm the boss and then my employees are saying this absolute insane shit, like loving homicide, yeah, I can fire you for sure. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I mean, I've never even seen this before. Like people that are like celebrating death of another American is, I mean, unless he's a criminal. If he's a criminal and then he gets killed, like that's a completely different scenario. But somebody who's broken no laws whatsoever, he was exercising his right to freedom of speech, preaching the gospel and pacifism. Yeah, I do think you probably need to draw the line there. Like I said, I mean, there's certain unwritten rules in our civilization, and people who are going to take a shit on those rules and completely disrespect that do not belong, right? I mean, I don't know. It's a uncharted territory.
Advertising that you're a maniac and that you have no decency, compassion, or humanity. that you're indifferent to death. And not just indifferent, you're sickly gleeful. That makes you a threat. That makes you dangerous. It makes you a beast. And what do we do with beasts? We leave them out in the wild. We have to be very careful about the kind of people we associate with. They aren't entitled to work for us. And these people, sadly, are everywhere.
Charlie Kirk committed suicide is what he did. He knew it was coming. Charlie Kirk did a great thing for humanity. He stopped that bullet before it hit a human being.
That bullet connected with Trump. How would you have felt if it had connected with more than just his ear?
I wish that shooter would have been in Butner, Pennsylvania, instead of getting Charlie Kirk.
This is more than just a disagreement over the border or crime or politics. We're talking about murder. Would CNN be okay if their producer said, that girl that got raped, she had it coming? Of course not. Or the Ukrainian refugee stabbed to death on a train, Irina, deserved to die. Those floods in Texas, that's karma. Hope you can swim. Never. Now, we're not saying these people should be put in prison. We're saying they're not walking into my office. I'm not letting them hang around my family. I don't want to be anywhere near them. This college student in Texas barged into a Charlie Kirk vigil and acted out the bullying ripping through his throat.
Oh, buddy.
Texas State University just expelled that clown. It's a state school, and taxpayers should never have to fund that ghoul's education. He's a sociopath. And if he didn't learn his lesson today, in a few years, I guarantee he'll be preying on some innocent victim or victims. So we're not advocating jail time. We're recommending social purgatory until he repents and means it. Society's already treating the cancer. A councilman in Florida got caught celebrating Charlie's death, and now he's facing the will of the people.
Your days are numbered.
You're rolling your eyes. It's disgraceful, man. You have brought a horrible name to this community.
I have a recall petition. If you're really going to make the whole village go through this, it's going to be done. We have 40% of this village that's going to do it. Walk away with respect. Do what's right.
I hope you find God and your final judgment day is better than today.
A country that supports assassinations is a country hurtling towards civil war. It's the very thirst for assassination and the fact that it's tolerated that's leading to more attempts. Charlie wasn't president. He wasn't a member of an extremist group. He was a mainstream Republican. He was on Fox. He had a hit podcast. He was my friend. They killed my friend. But above all, Charlie was a dad. He was a husband. Here he is telling his daughter how he met his mom.
Story time. So we're here at Bill's Burgers in New York City. And right near this very table was the first time Dad met Mama. And it started as a job interview. And I was asking all these questions. Philosophy, religion, Jesus. And then I realized Mama was beautiful and smart and elegant and Christ-like. And so I said, forget this job interview. I want to date you. And I said, I have enough friends. And that's where your journey started.
Charlie wanted more than anything for Americans to fall in love and get married and have families and draw themselves closer to God. There's nothing more American than that. There's nothing more human than that. Anyone who defiles a human life or advocates innocent lives to end violently is an animal. And we don't break bread with animals.
Want even more Fox News on YouTube? Become a Fox News Patriot today.
Pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. Well, so anyways, guys, that's all I have for tonight. Depressing. But yeah, that's where we're at. 1 week out. This is essentially where we're at. I think Jesse Waters. I'm not the biggest Jesse Waters guy or anything like that, but I think he wrapped it up pretty well. Like he explained, like kind of caught us up to where we're at right now. He hasn't talked about any of the conspiracy theories or anything like that. I'm really not going down that road either. I've seen some crazy shit on X, but yeah, I just don't think that's what it is. But anyways, I thought that video would be good to share and discuss. In general, just kind of my thoughts. I mean, at this stage, I'm just, watching those clips of people celebrating. I just, completely lose faith in humanity. So I'm going to take a step away from the news. And anyways, moving forward, we're going to be talking about stuff that's a lot more optimistic, positive, fun, self-improvement, focusing on our lives right here, right now. How can we maximize it? How can we make it better? But occasionally, we're going to cover some news stories. We're going to talk about it. I get into it, I get passionate about it, and it's fun to talk about. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next live stream.